Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. It's Sunday, and we go back to school tomorrow. And tomorrow is also Earth Day. Yay! It is one of the most important days because it's about our humongous, big, beautiful house, home. It is where we all live, no matter what part of the earth you live on earth. And it is very important for us to take care of that. You see that coloring picture over there? That's the Lorax. And you see how beautiful it was colored? It was colored by Lorenzo. And Lorenzo, you know that I really appreciate you asking me to read this book and to make this video. So this book and this reading goes out to Lorenzo and all the other kids. And you all know who you are because you're my little ones, okay? So we're going to start to read The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. Okay? Everyone knows who Dr. Seuss is, right? Everyone should know. And here is the Lorax on a truffle tree. And look at that picture. It is so great. It has no colors. And you know what's missing here? All the truffle trees. We have to take care that doesn't happen to our earth. Okay? So we got to take care of it. We got to plant seeds. We got to water them. We got to pick up the trash. We got to recycle our plastics. If you can, don't buy paper napkins. Use cloths or cloth napkins instead. And that'll help a lot. And you can say, well, what am I going to do? Just one little person. Hey, if we all come together and do it, we can make things better for Earth. So here it goes. It says, at the far end of town where the grickle grass grows and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could, before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax? And why was it here? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere from the far end of town where the grickle grass grows? The old Wansler still lives here. Ask him. He knows. You won't see the Wansler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkum on top of his store. He lurks in his lurkum cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of Miff Muffer Move. And on special dank midnights in August, he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail, and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather's nail. Then he pulls up the pail, makes a most careful count to see if you paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snub, his secret strange hole in his grubbleless glove. Then he grunts, I will call you by whisper, my phone, for the secrets I tell are for your ears alone. Slip! Down the slops the whisper my phone to your ear, and the old Wansler whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through a snurgly hose. And he sounds as if he had smallish bees up his nose. Now I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding great, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long time ago. And then we go when the forests of the truffle trees were still filled with truffle trees. Way back in the days when the grass was still green and the pond was still wet and the clouds were still clean and the song of the swami swang rang out in space, one morning I came to this glorious place and I first saw the trees, the truffula trees. The bright-colored tufts of the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. And under the trees I saw brown barbaloos frisking about in their barbaloo suits as they played in the shade and ate truffula fruits. From the tippless pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. But those trees, those truffula trees, how my life I've been searching for trees such as this. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I unloaded my cart. In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffula tree with one chop, and with a great skillful skill and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tuft and I knitted a thneed. One tree. That's what he said. He chopped down one tree. The instant I'd finished, I heard a gasp. I looked, I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. Ta-da! He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. Mister, he said with a dusty sneeze. I am the Lorax, and I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues, and I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as he shouted and puffed, What's that thing you made out of my truffula tuft? Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I am doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a thneed. A thneed's to find something that's all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat. But it has other uses, yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains or covers, for bicycle seats. The Lorax said, Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth who would buy that thing, thneed. But the very next minute I proved he was wrong, for just at that minute a chap came along. And he thought that the thneed I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. Oh, you poor silly guy. You never can tell what some people will buy. I repeat, cried the Lorax, I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him. Just be quiet, if you please. I rushed out across the room, and in no time at all, built a radiophone. I put in a quick call. I called up my brothers and uncles and aunts, and I said, Listen here. Here's a wonderful chance for the whole Wonsler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Nitch. Turn left at Weehawken. Shop right at South Stitch. And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Wonsler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting thneeds, just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chopping of truffula trees. Look at all those truffula trees being chopped down. Poor truffula trees. Then, oh, baby, oh, how my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffle trees at one smacker. We were making the needs 4 times as fast as before, and that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. But the next week, he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, "I am the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of the brown barbaloos, who played in the shade in the barbaloo suits and happily lived eating truffle of fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough truffle of fruit to go round. And my poor barbaloos are all getting the crummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies. They love living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys," he cried, and he sent them away. I, the Wansler, felt sad as I watched them all go, but business is business, and business must grow, regardless of crummies and trummies, you know. Look at that. Out of one tree became so many. I meant no harm. I most truly did not. But I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I bigger my factory, I bigger my roads, I bigger my wagons, I bigger the loads, and that the needs I shipped out, I was shipping them forth to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more the needs, and I bigger my money, which everyone needs. Then again he came back. I was fixing some pipes when that old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. "I am the Lorax," he coughed, and he whiffed, he sneezed, and he snuffed, he snargled, he sniffed. Wansler, he cried with a cruffless croak. "Wansler, you're making such smuggless smoke." My poor swami swans, why they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smug in their throat. "And so," said the Lorax, "please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off." "Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smog you smugged up around here." "What's more," snapped the Lorax, his dander was up, "let me say a few words about Gluppity Glup. Your machinery chugs on, and day and night without stop, making glubbity glub, also shoppity slop. And what do you do with this leftovers goo? I'll show you, you dirty old Wansler man, you." Look at that. Horrible. Look at the fishies. "You're glumping the pond water where the humming fish hum. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary in search of some water that isn't so smeary. Where will my fishies go?" And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax, "Now listen here, Dat. All you do is yap yap and say ba ba bad bad bad. Well, I have my right, sir, and I'm telling you, I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring I'm biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering, turning more truffle trees into the needs, which everyone needs." Look at that. The forest. And that is what's happening with our forest right now, you guys. They're chopping all the trees. And we get oxygen because of the trees. We can't let this happen. We must be the voice of the trees. And at that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside in the fields came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall. The very last truffula tree of them all. Oh no. No more trees, no more to eat, no more work to be done. So in no time, my uncles and aunts and everyone all waved me goodbye. They jumped into my car and took my cars and drove away under the smoke smugger stars. Now all that was left, 'neath the bad-smelling sky, was my big empty factory, the Lorax, and I. The Lorax said nothing, just gave me a glance, just gave me a very sad backwards glance, as he lifted himself by the seat of his pants, and I'll never forget the grim look on his face. And he heisted himself and took leave of this place through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. And all that Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with one word: unless. Unless you guys, unless you little ones, unless you kids make a difference, this is how our earth is going to look. So please, please take care of it. Tell your parents to give you some seeds, plant some more plants, take care of the bees. Whatever that meant, well, I just couldn't guess. That was long, long ago, but each day since that day, I've sat here and worried away. Through the years, while my buildings have fallen apart, I've worried about it with all of my heart. Don't let it be too late, guys. But now, says the Onceler, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So that could be you. See, the Onceler saw that he had made a big mistake, and he was sorry. He wanted to take it back. He knew how important it was to have trees. So, catch, called the Onceler. He let something fall. It's a truffula seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last of the truffula seeds. And truffula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffula, treat it with care, give it clean water and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all his friends may come back. And that, my friends, is the end. So let us bring back the Lorax. Let us plant those seeds. Let us care for the earth. Because remember, with no trees, there is no air, and we need air. So I hope you all enjoyed it. And again, thank you, Lorenzo, for asking me to read this beautiful book. And remember, we're all the Lorax. Have a beautiful evening, and don't forget to read, because education is the key to success, but the key to success is reading. Bye-bye, friends. See you later.